Imagine this. Before your feet even touch the floor, your mind is already under siege. The alarm screams, you reach for 5 more minutes, and in that small surrender, chaos slips in. Not loudly, quietly, almost unnoticed. Your phone floods your senses with news, messages, and demands before you have claimed your own center. Before you choose who you will be today. Most mornings, you are not the master of your day, but its victim, reacting, rushing, chasing what's next, before remembering what truly matters. This is the silent epidemic the Stoics warned of. When you lose command at the start, you don't just lose an hour, you lose direction. Inner discipline is not about becoming rigid or emotionless. It's about cultivating a balanced approach. It is about steering your thoughts, mastering your emotions, and refusing to live on autopilot while the world decides for you. As Epictetus said, if you conquer yourself, you have conquered the world. Not later in the day, not after motivation arrives. It begins in the first moments you wake up, when no one is watching, and every habit quietly reveals who is in control. This video presents 9 Stoic lessons, real habits, and practical tactics to help you reclaim your morning, sharpen your mind, and build quiet strength before the world intrudes. Each lesson is a test, not of willpower, but of awareness. Will you drift, or will you make a decision? Welcome to Stoic Philosophy Daily, where your story matters. Share below what your biggest morning struggle is. Every comment is a gift. We read with care, answer with heart, and treat your journey as part of our own. This is more than a channel. It is a circle of strength. Type, today, I choose command over chaos. Stay for every lesson. The first battle you win is the one that shapes the rest of your day. 1. Claim the stillness before the storm. Before the noise, before the world's demands, there is a brief window where your mind is unguarded and raw. This is the most powerful moment you'll have all day. The Stoics understood this deeply. The first minutes after waking aren't just routine. They quietly set the direction for everything that follows. If you fill them with silence, not screens, you anchor yourself before the current of life tries to pull you away. Give yourself just 3 to 5 minutes each morning. No phone, no talking, no scrolling. Sit, breathe. Even if your mind feels restless or urgent, stay with it. In this delicate space, your nervous system begins to settle. Cortisol drops, mental fog lifts. You move from reaction into awareness. This is not passive rest. It's a deliberate reset of your internal state. More than a biological shift, this moment restores a sense of control. Thoughts feel less like crashing waves and more like a steady tide you can ride. You don't eliminate noise. You meet it grounded. You begin the day awake, aware, and crucially, self-directed rather than pulled by momentum. Instead of rushing into notifications or obligations, Sarah, a young athlete, found her edge by claiming silence each morning. Before checking messages or putting on her running shoes, she stands by her window, closes her eyes, and listens to her breath for 5 minutes. No devices, no playlist, no agenda, just a grounding pause. That quiet space reminds her, this is my moment. I decide the pace of my day. After months of developing this habit, Sarah noticed that she no longer tensed up before big races or intense training sessions. When stress arrived, she met it with steadiness instead of panic. This is the quiet signature of a mind that leads before it reacts. Marcus Aurelius said it best, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." This isn't poetic comfort. It's a tactical instruction. Don't search for peace in the outside world. Build it in your first minutes, and you'll carry a sharper, calmer, more disciplined mind into whatever the day brings. At Stoic Daily, we believe the day belongs to those who start from within. Try it tomorrow. How would your mornings and your mind change if you claimed stillness before the storm? Share below. What's your greatest challenge in starting the day your way? 2. Forge your compass. Most people let the world set their tone for the day. The Stoic does the opposite. They begin with a single, grounding question: what virtue will I live by today? The world outside may stay chaotic, but every dawn is a blank page for your character. The Stoics understood that money, reputation, and even success can vanish overnight. But virtue, your chosen mindset, your discipline, your compassion, can never be taken from you unless you surrender it. Virtue is not decoration or philosophy for display. It is a compass. It quietly shapes every small choice, every reaction, every word you speak. Choosing one virtue each morning, patience, courage, honesty, or temperance, focuses the mind like a lens. Instead of drifting through the day, you move with intention. Routine moments stop being random. They become deliberate practice. When you name your virtue, you train your will before the world tests it. Say you choose patience. Suddenly, traffic is no longer just an irritation. It becomes a training ground. A long checkout line turns into a lesson. Each time frustration rises, you remind yourself, this is my practice. You breathe. You observe the impulse. You respond as your chosen self, not as a captive of the environment, but as someone shaping it from within. This is how a Stoic mind is forged, not through grand gestures, but through 1,000 quiet decisions made in ordinary moments. Choosing a daily virtue does more than clear mental clutter. It also cultivates a more profound sense of purpose. It creates direction. It becomes an anchor when news, noise, or negativity threatens to throw you off course. Decisions feel simpler. Reactions slow down. You stop being pulled in every direction and start steering with purpose instead of impulse. Marcus Aurelius put it simply: live as if today were the last day you were granted to live with reason. If today were all you had, what would you fill your mind with? Envy and anxiety, or courage and calm compassion? Each morning, choose your virtue. Each night, reflect on how you lived it. This is how the mind sharpens, one intention, one action, one day at a time. At Stoic Daily, we believe self-mastery begins with a single conscious choice. Drop "I choose my virtue" in the comments. What virtue will guide you today? 3. Premeditatio Malorum. Practice foresight, not fear. Most people begin the day hoping for smooth sailing. The Stoics sharpen their edge by expecting the waves. Premeditatio Malorum, the premeditation of evils, was never about doom or negativity. It was about turning anxiety into readiness and uncertainty into preparation. Picture your own morning before a crucial meeting. The mind fills with what-ifs. The connection drops. A difficult question appears. A problem you didn't anticipate surfaces. The goal isn't to panic or spiral out of control. It's to meet these possibilities calmly before they arrive, so they lose their power over you. True strength comes from facing uncertainty head-on, not avoiding it. The Stoics didn't trust luck. They trusted discipline. Like a warrior sharpening his blade before battle, you sharpen your mind by rehearsing the obstacles you may face. Preparation replaces fear with clarity. Before diving into your day, take a few minutes and ask, what could throw me off today? Traffic, a demanding boss, unexpected news, a personal challenge. Picture it clearly. Acknowledge it without judgment. Then notice what happens. The fear softens. The unknown becomes familiar. You regain a sense of control before the first challenge even appears. This isn't pessimism, it's mental armor. Elite athletes, surgeons, and special forces personnel all utilize visualization to anticipate potential setbacks and remain calm under pressure. When you've already seen the fall in your mind, recovery becomes instinctive. For everyday life, this practice becomes a daily exercise in building resilience. When chaos shows up, you're not shocked, you're ready. But the power of Premeditatio Malorum isn't just imagining what could go wrong. It's translating foresight into action. If you picture a call dropping, you prepare a backup connection. If you expect hard questions, you rehearse your answers out loud. Each rehearsal quietly reshapes your day, turning setbacks from threats into steps you've already practiced walking through. Try this. For the next 7 mornings, before anything else, sit quietly and picture one thing that could go wrong today. Not to cause you anxiety, but to steady your mind. Ask, if this happens, how will I respond? The more often you meet chaos in advance, the less power it holds over you in real time. At Stoic Daily, we believe resilience is built in rehearsal, not just reaction. Drop, "I prepare for anything" in the comments. How will you practice foresight this morning? 4. Draw the line. Find your power. Every day offers a simple test. Will you spend your energy on what you can change, or drain yourself over what you cannot? Most people wake up already tangled in worries about the future, outside opinions, and outcomes far beyond their reach. The Stoics taught something radical and practical. Your mind becomes strongest the moment you draw a clear line between what is in your hands and what is not. This is not surrender, it is self-mastery. This mindset is about protecting your limited energy, especially in the first hours of the day when your mind is freshest. As the morning unfolds, notice how easily worries creep in. Work anxieties, family concerns, fears about the unknown. Left unchecked, these thoughts multiply. Clarity turns into tension. Focus slips into exhaustion. Anxiety rises, control fades, and suddenly your day is being driven by forces you never chose. However, when you refocus your attention on your own choices, preparation, effort, and attitude, something shifts. You step into the role of creator, not victim. Imagine you are about to give a presentation. You can control your preparation, your presence, and your delivery. You cannot control the audience's mood, the weather, or whether technology fails. Worrying about those things steals your strength before you even begin. The Stoic draws the line right here and brings attention back to what is actually in their hands. Epictetus put it simply: make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens. This is more than advice, it is a shield. When you stop carrying what was never yours to hold, pressure eases, expectations loosen, fear loses its grip. You conserve energy for what truly matters. Each morning, before anything else, try this. Write down 3 things that are within your control today, and 3 things you will consciously let go of. As you repeat this practice, notice the change. Anxiety softens, resolve sharpens. By naming your worries and choosing where to invest your energy, you create a new baseline of calm that follows you into the day. Over time, the shift becomes undeniable. Instead of drifting on autopilot, pulled by every worry, you begin to move with intention. Your spirit grows steadier, no longer dragged by every gust of uncertainty. The less you chase what lies beyond your reach, the more freedom and inner stability you gain. At Stoic Daily, we believe freedom begins when you master where your power ends. Share below. When did letting go of control make you stronger? 5. Discipline begins with the first step. The world trains you to wait. Wait for motivation. Wait for the right feeling. Wait for the perfect moment. The Stoic sees the trap and refuses it. Life doesn't slip away in chaos. It slips away in hesitation. The truth is simple. If you wait to feel ready, you will stay forever. Real growth doesn't begin when inspiration arrives. Do you let comfort set your pace, or do you act? The Stoics never trusted moods. They trusted action. Marcus Aurelius gave himself a daily command. At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, "I am rising to do the work of a human being." This wasn't a demand for perfection. It was a reminder of nature. You are built to act. Action comes first. Motivation follows. Think about it. You may feel tired, distracted, or out of sync. But the moment you get up, splash your face, write a single line in your journal, or complete one small task, something shifts. The chain of delay breaks. Your mind shifts from a passive to a proactive state. You prove to yourself, again and again, that discipline is a choice, not a feeling. Modern science confirms what the Stoics already knew. Each time you take action, even a small one, your brain releases dopamine, momentum builds, willpower becomes less necessary. Rhythm replaces resistance. Over time, the habit forms not because you feel ready, but because you keep moving. The Stoics never wrote their wisdom to be admired. They wrote it to be lived. As Epictetus said, first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. Identity is shaped by action, not intention. So tomorrow morning, when hesitation whispers, ignore it. Don't negotiate. Don't wait for readiness. Begin. One step, however small, sets the engine in motion for the entire day. At Stoic Daily, we believe discipline is an action, not an intention. Drop "I act before I feel ready" in the comments. What is the first step you will take tomorrow? 6. Memento Mori. Wake up to the gift of this day. Nothing pulls you out of autopilot faster than a simple truth. One day, you will not wake up. No alarm, no sunlight, no more. Tomorrow. The Stoic reminder, Memento Mori. Remember you will die. Sounds harsh only if misunderstood. It is not a threat. It is an invitation to be fully, deliberately alive while you still can. When you remember that life is fragile, ordinary moments change weight, such as pouring coffee, stepping outside, and sending an attachment to a message. These aren't filler moments anymore. They become proof that you are still here. Awareness sharpens. Habit loosens its grip. Presence replaces numb routine, and the day stops blurring past you. Awareness of mortality does not darken life. It clarifies it. When you begin the day knowing time is finite, drifting feels unnatural. Choices become cleaner. The urge to postpone, to call someone later, to write someday, to listen another time, weakens in the face of truth. The ordinary turns precious. A mother stands in her kitchen, feeling the familiar urge to delay calling her grown son. She pauses, whispers, "Memento Mori," and dials. Not from fear, but from gratitude that this moment still exists. That is presence in action. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." The Stoics did not train their minds to dwell obsessively on death. They taught them to fear wasting a single day. With Memento Mori in mind, procrastination loses power. Routine lifts. You use the morning for what matters: connection, purpose, being fully where you are. This practice is not pessimism, it is an attention. By holding mortality close, you cut through numb habits and wake yourself up again and again. Meaning stops hiding in plans and perfection. It shows up in this moment, lived with awareness, courage, and care. Memento Mori doesn't shrink life. It expands it. At Stoic Daily, we believe you honor life most by remembering it will not last forever. Drop "I live awake" in the comments. How would your morning change if you treated today as something unrepeatable? 7. Amor Fati. Turn every obstacle into fuel. Life rarely unfolds as planned. The day you need to go smoothly may greet you with a broken AC, a flat tire, sudden rain, or unexpected news. Most people react with one question: why me? The Stoic chooses a different response. This is my moment. I'm strong enough to use it. Amor Fati, the love of fate, is not passive acceptance. It is the decision to treat everything that happens as raw material for growth. Each time you practice Amor Fati, a subtle yet powerful shift occurs. Instead of resisting inconvenience or wishing it away, you say, "Good, this too belongs." A delay becomes a chance to practice patience. A cancellation becomes room for adjustment. A setback becomes training. The event doesn't change. Your relationship to it does. And that change is where strength is built. Imagine Maya, an office worker, rushing to an important meeting only to spill coffee on her shirt. Frustration flashes. The old reflex is to spiral. Instead, she pauses and reminds herself, Amor Fati. She borrows a spare shirt, laughs it off, and walks into the room more present than planned. The mistake becomes a human moment, not a personal failure. She connects more easily, steadies herself under pressure, and proves to herself that she can adapt without losing composure. The question is no longer why me, but it's me, and I can work with this. Practicing Amor Fati each morning means preparing your mind to say yes to the day before it argues back. When plans break, traffic slows, or rain arrives uninvited, you pause, breathe, and remember. You are not here to demand the world fit your expectations. You are here to adjust, adapt, and turn even resistance into advantage, whether you like the form it takes or not. The more you repeat this response, the more automatic it becomes. Over time, you grow less rattled, more resourceful, and quietly at ease. Not because life becomes easier, but because you stop fighting reality. Strength no longer depends on control. It comes from a response. Every test becomes an invitation to grow, and every day you say yes is a day you become harder to shake. At Stoic Daily, we believe your most significant power is the ability to use whatever life gives you. Drop "I choose Amor Fati" in the comments. How did you turn an obstacle into fuel today? 8. Train your body as you train your mind. The Stoics understood a simple truth. A strong mind cannot thrive in a neglected body. To train the mind is to train the body. They are not rivals. They are partners, building your foundation from the ground up. Every morning, choosing even brief movement sends a clear signal of self-mastery. I command myself, not my moods. You don't need to be a marathon runner or a power lifter. Discipline begins with small, deliberate actions. Rolling out of bed, stretching and walking around the block, and taking slow, conscious breaths. These acts may seem modest, but they create momentum. As your body warms, your mind follows. Stress loosens, clarity sharpens, worries shrink, presence deepens. You feel rooted, awake, and ready, rather than foggy and reactive. However, the deeper work takes place beneath the surface. Each time you move your body, you are resisting more than physical inertia. You are interrupting the drift toward comfort and delay. You turn intention into action. Sweat becomes more than effort. It becomes evidence. Proof that you can do complex things not because they feel good, but because they matter. This is where the boundary between body and mind dissolves. Discipline practiced physically becomes the discipline you carry into every decision. Consider David, a freelance designer, who is weighed down by morning fog and anxiety. He began with just 5 minutes of jumping jacks each day. At first, it felt insignificant, almost pointless. But soon those 5 minutes became a launch pad. His focus sharpened. His confidence grew. The chaos of the day felt less threatening. He didn't become an athlete. He became steady. That is the Stoic path: progress, not perfection. So, ask yourself this. What is the first movement of your day? When you begin with motion, You remind yourself that control starts internally. Each small act trains you to follow through on your commitments. Each morning becomes a training ground, not just for the body, but for the will behind it. At Stoic Daily, we believe discipline is forged through both body and mind. Start where you are. Move with intention. Let each morning strengthen your foundation. Share below. What simple movement will you commit to tomorrow? 9. Read and reflect. Before you rush into the world's noise, give yourself a pause. A small ritual of reading, writing, and reflection that quietly reshapes your mind. The Stoics understood that wisdom isn't absorbed all at once. It's built day by day, one small dose at a time. That's why, before the swirl of obligations and distractions takes over, you open a book, find a single line from Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, or Epictetus, and let it linger. Don't skim. Let the words settle. Write them down. Then add a few honest lines about how that idea touches your own struggles, habits, or hopes. This is not passive reading. It's a translation. You take ancient philosophy and turn it into modern practice. Some mornings you'll wrestle with a thought about anger, patience, or the fleeting nature of time. Other days, you'll return to a reminder like, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. With pen in hand, you make it personal. Today, when frustration appears, I will pause before I react. This is the moment when theory begins shaping character, when reflection becomes a promise to act differently. Practiced consistently, even for 3 minutes, this ritual lays a psychological foundation for calm and clarity. You're less likely to be swept away by impulse or chaos because you've already anchored your mind in intention. Research supports what the Stoics intuited. Reflective journaling improves focus, reduces stress, and strengthens decision-making throughout the day. Instead of letting headlines or social media dictate your mood, you choose deliberately what enters your mind. Over time, this habit does more than inform how you think. It reshapes who you are. Each morning, you begin with reflection and action. You train a mind that responds instead of reacting. The quote stops being a sentence on a page. It becomes part of your internal voice. This is how a daily pause can transform into inner strength, and how a few quiet minutes in the morning can ripple through everything you do. At Stoic Daily, we believe wisdom is meant to be lived, not just learned. Share below. What quote will you anchor your morning with tomorrow? Step lighter, live freer. Imagine setting down a heavy pack you didn't even realize you were carrying. The quiet weight of resentment, lingering stress, unfinished thoughts you've dragged from one day into the next. This is the silent power of beginning your day with gratitude and forgiveness. They cost nothing, yet they free your mind, soften your heart, and create space for real peace. This is the final gift Stoicism offers. Not just resilience, but freedom from within. Across these 9 lessons, you've built a foundation step by step. From the stillness of the morning, to clear intention, decisive action, foresight, without fear, honoring your circle of control, choosing action over hesitation, remembering what truly matters, turning obstacles into fuel, and anchoring your mind in reflection. Each habit is a brick in the architecture of a mind that is calm, intentional, and steady under pressure. Now comes the part that matters most: living it. Try the 7-day challenge. Practice all 9 steps each morning and observe the shift your mood steadies, your energy sharpens, your reactions soften. Keep a simple journal. Notice what changes. Share your experience below. Which lessons stayed with you the most? Your story may become the permission someone else needs to begin their own journey. If this video helped you, like it, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss what comes next from Stoic Philosophy Daily. And before you go, your next lesson is already waiting for you here. Remember this: freedom is not a reward for perfect discipline. It is the natural result of practicing it, quietly, day by day. If you're seeking more, discover the full path on my channel, Stoic Philosophy Daily.